Hello and welcome to the History of. I'm Richard and this is my good friend Steve.
Hi.
We usually do this every year as we sit down and we talk about our favorite movies of the year. This time I thought it would be neat to record it. Our interest in movies is very different. I'm more of I'm more limited to sci-fi horror, that kind of genre, musicals and stuff. Whereas Steve,
I'll watch almost anything.
yeah, we're going to talk about what we think are the best movies of 2023. You'll see that our lists are going to be quite different.
Yeah.
I basically picked the movies that I think that I really enjoyed, and not necessarily what I think should be on my list, that should be the best movies. That's how I was doing my list at first.
Yeah.
I was putting movies on the list that I thought, I should put this on there because it's an important movie, and I think that should be on my list. But then I thought, but there are other movies that I enjoyed more.
Yeah.
So that's basically how I did my list. So here we go. We're going to start.
And that's how lists should be.
That's
although not everyone does that.
Right. I totally agree. Number 10 is Renfield.
Oh, okay. Look on your face. Why are you laughing?
Well, because I know that movie has a lot of hate.
Yeah.
And I think what a lot of the criticisms I found of that movie was the subplot with Awkwafina.
Oh, I loved Awkwafina.
Yeah, I loved her too, and I loved her storyline, but for some reason that's what people hated about the movie.
Oh.
Is that it should have focused mostly on Renfield and Dracula and their relationship. But I thoroughly enjoyed that movie. I thought it was so much fun.
Yeah.
And I just love that they went full out on the gore and, just totally fun.
I disagree with people not liking the Awkwafina stuff because I love Awkwafina. It's pretty much anything she does is gold for me. I love her. So I loved all the parts with her. That movie is not on my top 10 list. My favorite part was Nick Cage. I mean, it was a delightfully wacky Nicolas Cage performance.
Yeah. Indeed.
So my number 10 favorite movie of 2023 is Godzilla -1.
I haven't seen that one, but I heard that.
Yeah, it's amazing. Never in my life did I think a Godzilla movie would be on my top 10, but here we are. I don't know, it's so good. I can't speak today. It's got character development in a way that you've probably never seen in a Godzilla movie before. The effects are amazing. There's other stuff specifically I'd love to talk about that I don't want to say because you haven't seen it.
Spoilers?
Yeah, because I don't want to spoil anything.
Oh, okay.
But, I will say it's a bit long. There's some scenes that are a bit slow that they could have trimmed a little bit. But it's a remarkably good movie. And it was a huge success,
But it wasn't in theaters, was it?
Yes, it was.
It was?
Yes. Where have you been?
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was something that went on streaming immediately.
No.
Oh, okay.
In fact, it might be out right now, but they're re-releasing it in black and white.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure why. I guess people will find that fun, but I'd rather watch it in its original color.
Yeah. But that's on my list to see.
Yeah, it's an amazing movie. Yeah, might be. Well, I don't know if it's my favorite Godzilla, but it's certainly top 5 favorite Godzilla movies ever. And I've been a Godzilla fan since I was a little kid. In fact, my mom used to always tell me that when I was young, I used to tell her, "Mom, when I grow up, I want to make Godzilla movies."
All right.
That was the first time I ever showed any interest in a career when I was a kid.
Oh, wow. That was cool.
So it's an amazing movie, and I think you'll love it.
All right.
I really do.
Number 9 is a movie I know that you have no interest in seeing whatsoever, and it's Saw X.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen any of the Saw movies.
Yeah, I've seen all the Saw movies, and this is by far one of the better movies,
All right.
mainly because it takes its time and has character development, focusing on the Jigsaw character.
Mhm.
And it's just really well done. I mean, it does go into the torture porn type of horror that you don't like,
Yeah.
but it is a really well done, top notch.
So there have been 10 Saw movies.
Yeah.
Which is your favorite?
This one was really good. I would say this is the best one.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right. I still don't think I'll watch them.
You could probably watch the first one because the first one is they didn't go into the torture porn stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's after that they get pretty hardcore.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not into torture porn. It just doesn't do much for me. It's stupid. I just don't want to watch people getting tortured. It's like, this is not entertaining. Give me some story.
And that's the thing
Give me
about
some
Saw,
character development.
and that's the thing about Saw X is that
Yeah.
that's what you're looking for. It has that.
My number 9, Best Picture. I'm not sure if this got a theatrical release, but, after the pandemic, when we were watching everything at home, I just decided to start including things that are streaming. So my number 9 favorite movie is called Tetris.
Oh yeah.
And that was on Apple TV Plus, I believe. Might have gotten a short theatrical release, I'm not sure. But you've heard of it?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, yeah.
With Egerton, right?
Yeah, it's great. It's the story of how a guy was able to bring the video game Tetris to the United States, well, really to the world. And everything that happened to make that happen. It's a really wild story. It's a lot of fun.
All right.
Yeah. And it's it's all 80s, and I love 80s. So yeah, I highly recommend it. I found it to be incredibly entertaining. Great performance from Taron Egerton. Great 80s music in the movie, and it's a pretty wild story, and it's always fun when you see movies based on a true story, and you're just like, sometimes truth is wilder than fiction.
Mhm.
It's pretty crazy what happened.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I recommend it.
Number 8, Trolls Band Together.
All right.
I really enjoyed Trolls. The first movie I thought was really good. The second was kind of dull, but this one had a lot of energy, a lot of really good songs. The animation was it was popping. It was beautiful to look at, and I liked the story, and I like the message in the story. Basically, the story is how bonding with families and friends is very important, and how relying on them can lift you up. And there was a lot of good songs, because they use a lot of covers. So it was neat to see the covers of really popular songs and basically mashups of them and mixes and all that stuff. It's really fun. So I really enjoyed it.
I will watch it based on that review. Do I have to see the first one in order to enjoy the second one?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No. They do kind of reference some things
Yeah.
from the first movie, but I think you can still enjoy it.
Well, I love a movie with a good message.
Mm-hmm.
My number 8 is the movie May December.
Okay, I've heard of that one.
Yeah, it's great. It's the latest movie by Todd Haynes. He's one of my favorite directors. He's really great. It's sort of based on, I believe, something that happened in real life. It's about a teacher who has an affair with her student, and then they end up getting married. But the movie takes place 20 years later or something after the initial affair. And they're older, they have kids now, and they're going to make a movie about the story, and an actress comes to spend time with them to spend time with the woman who is part of the story. Anyway, I'm bad at explaining.
Interesting.
Things. but yeah, it's a fascinating story. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I loved it.
Number 7, A Knock at the Cabin.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed that. It was very intense. And the acting was great. It was pretty horrifying. The concept of, these people coming in and saying basically you got to kill the person that you love for them to not be an apocalypse. But it's pretty intense. I enjoyed it.
I am not a fan of M. Night Shyamalan movies at all. But I think it's probably his best. Yeah. But at least of the ones I've seen, most people like The Sixth Sense the best, but I had the ending ruined for me before I saw the movie, so so that'll never be my favorite. My number 7 best movie of the year is Totally Killer.
Totally Killer! Oh my gosh, it's such a good movie. I love it.
Yay! Amazing. I mentioned the 80s, talking about Tetris. This is very 80s movie. It's time travel. It's like a slasher movie and a time travel movie all put together, and it's spectacular. And it's funny. I can't recommend it enough. I love it. I am sure it's probably going to end up on somewhere on your list. Maybe number 1, I don't know. But I loved it. It's thoroughly entertaining from start to finish. I loved it so much.
Go see it.
So much. Yeah.
Hey, I love that choice.
Yeah. Me too.
Number 6, Talk to Me.
All right.
It was a surprise for me because lately a lot of horror movies have been disappointing, and this one was intriguing. The whole touching the hand of the dead person and then being possessed by them for a little bit. Very well done. Very intense. Very scary. They didn't puss out at the ending. Ended the way it should have ended. A movie like that should end.
Yeah.
I recommend it.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. It's a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. One of the best horror movies of the year. For some reason, the movie really depressed me, though. And I think that's why maybe I didn't love it quite as much as you, because it is a pretty downbeat ending.
Yeah. And normally I don't like downbeat movies, but this one worked.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with downbeat endings, but sometimes they depress me. But yeah, it's a great movie. And they're making a sequel, right?
Are they?
I think I heard they
okay.
are. Maybe they aren't. I'm not sure.
Right on.
But I'd be down. Yeah.
Especially if it's as good as this one.
Yeah. It's a great movie. Thumbs up. My number 6 is The Holdovers.
Oh, that's another one I've heard of. Haven't seen it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the latest movie by Alexander Payne. It's probably my second favorite after Election. He directed Election, right? Yeah. Did you ever see Election?
With Reese Witherspoon?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. But it's good. It's a comedy, and do you want to explain it?
If you want to.
You'll probably never watch it anyway.
I'll probably glaze over like the drama.
Anyway, basically it takes place at like this boys' prep school, and some of the boys have to stay at the school during Christmas break because they can't go home, and it's about that time period
Okay.
and things that happen during that time.
A lot of hijinks.
Hijinks ensue. Okay, moving on.
All right, number 5. So number 5 on my list of movies that I enjoyed is Rustin.
What? Really?
Yeah. I don't usually watch a lot of dramas. The reason I watched this is because Rustin is a gay man, and I wanted to see a movie that does a positive portrayal of a gay figure. I usually have my students write about Rustin, especially during Black History Month.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought this was an opportunity to see a movie based on him. And I thought it was really well done, and the actor playing Rustin was fantastic. And I appreciate that they showed how very important this person was in that time for getting that march for Martin Luther King.
I didn't like it.
Oh, sadness.
I know. Are they gonna take my gay card away?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like it. And I really didn't like his performance either. I'm surprised he got the Oscar nomination. I thought he just like shouted his whole role. But anyway, I'm not going to shit on the movie because it's an important story, but I didn't like it. My fifth favorite is How to Blow Up a Pipeline.
I've never heard of that one.
It's really good. I highly recommend it.
Is it a documentary?
No. It's how do I explain it? See, I'm terrible at explaining things. It's basically about these a group of people who band together to blow up a pipeline out of protest.
Oh, okay.
And it's a really well crafted story, and it's a well made movie, and I 100% agree with the message of the film. So yeah, I enjoyed it very much.
And what's the message? Don't fuck up Earth?
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah. Yeah.
I agree with that message too.
Yeah.
Number 4, Blue Beetle.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I've enjoyed a lot of the superhero movies in 23. I must have a soft heart for them. I mean, I enjoyed Aquaman, Ant-Man, the Marvels. I've enjoyed all of those. But Blue Beetle was I liked that it was kind of different. And I liked that it had a Latino family. But the Beetle choosing this person with a good heart to be the superhero. I love that the family got together and they all helped each other and they helped the Blue Beetle to defeat the villain. I just thought it was all great and wonderful fun.
Nice.
Yeah. And my thing is, when it comes to superhero shows and movies, I really can't stand when they get all dark and gritty and depressing. I can't stand that shit. So this is another one that hits all those buttons for me in superhero movies, where it's fun, it's exciting, it's funny, it's thrilling, it's everything that I like in superhero movies.
It's light.
Yeah. There's the way they should be.
It's not depressing. It's
Yeah.
It's not hyper violent. My number 4 is The Creator. I can't remember if you saw that. Did you see that?
I have not seen that, but I just remember you complained about it.
What?
The main actor.
Okay, so here's the thing. I hated, what's his name? John David Washington's performance so much in this movie. It almost ruined it for me. I absolutely worship everything else about this movie. I love the movie.
Okay.
It just makes me so angry that he was cast in the role, because I thought he was terrible. Everything else about the movie is perfection.
Oh,
I
okay.
loved it. It probably would have been my number 1 movie of the year if he had not been in it.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I love it that much. It is a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant sci-fi movie. I can't recommend it enough.
Oh.
Just do your best to ignore him. Why do they keep putting him in movies? I don't get it.
I don't get it either. He was terrible in Tenet.
Horrible. He was okay in BlacKkKlansman. I can't recommend it enough. I just love it.
Love
Love
it.
it.
So maybe I'll go see it.
Yeah.
Go to my house and see it.
Yeah, it's very inventive. It's just it's a great story. I just love everything about it. And, I do have a predilection for sci-fi movies. I love sci-fi. So.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Number 3, Thanksgiving.
Oh!
For an Eli Roth movie, I was actually surprised, because I don't really like a lot of what he does, because he usually fills his movies with a lot of horrible, unlikable characters.
Yeah.
But this one was different, because he actually had people that you liked and cared about.
Nice.
And it's a brilliant story. If you like slasher movies, and this is a thing, it's a full-on slasher movie. It's got the gore and everything, and I just love slasher and horror. Everything is there. An interesting villain, an interesting story as to why the villain is killing.
Yeah.
It's just all, and you got the gore, but the gore is not too much. It's not like torture porn gore.
Yeah.
But it's slasher film gore. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I thought it was brilliant.
My number 3 is Barbie.
Barbie! Yay!
Barbie was so much fun. I adored it.
Yeah, so did I.
I think it deserves all the accolades it's getting. I just really adored it. It's so much fun.
Well, while he's talking about Barbie, as his number 3, Barbie is my number 2 on the list.
Oh, yay! We almost matched.
I love Barbie. I thought it was wonderful. It was fun. It was beautiful to look at.
Yeah,
I love the message.
yeah.
But the acting was brilliant, especially Margot Robbie as Barbie.
Yeah.
She was great. She did a great job as Barbie.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. I
Yeah.
highly recommend it. The musical sequences, the land of Barbie, and even when they
Yeah.
transitioned from Barbie to the
Barbie.
real world, everything was just great.
It was a amazingly inventive movie. Great message. Incredibly fun.
Yeah.
Just everything about it. Now, my number 2 is a movie I know you don't like, unfortunately, but I loved it. And it's Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I loved it.
You loved it.
Yeah. I would say it's my 3rd favorite indie movie. After Raiders and Temple of Doom. Yeah. He hates it. Clearly. Well, I mean, I knew that already. But I love it. You think it's what? Sad and depressing? I thought it was a great way to end the series. I absolutely loved it. You want to talk about why you hate it, or you want to wait for your worst list? We'll just wait for your worst list, and then we can talk about it.
This is the best list, so you talk about why you love the movie.
It was very entertaining. I love the story. I thought it was well made. I thought Harrison Ford was great as always as Indy. We've talked about this movie before. I know you said it was too depressing. You didn't like what had happened to the Indiana Jones character. That didn't bother me. Life gets sad as you get older. I speak from experience. When my mom died, my life changed for the worse, and it continues to be worse.
Aww.
So I can relate, Indy's son dies. His life changed for the worse. It ruined his relationship with Karen Allen's character. I'm forgetting the name of the character. So I can relate. I don't need Indy to always to be, happy peppy, I'm Barbie archaeologist. It's okay for him to be sad and depressed. So I love the movie.
All right.
I know you disagree, but anyway. Watch, it'll probably be his number 1 worst movie.
Number 1. And my favorite movie is
Totally Killer.
Totally Killer. You know me so well. It has everything
Yeah,
I love in movies.
yeah.
That is, and Steve knows this, knows me
Uh-huh.
so well. Time travel. I love
Uh-huh.
time travel. Horror, slasher. It's a comedy.
Yeah,
It's all of them.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I don't necessarily need my slasher horror movies to be totally depressing and downbeat.
yeah,
It can be funny as long as it's done well.
yeah.
And this was a masterful work. It's like
Yeah.
a movie mashup of Back to the Future and Friday the 13th, basically.
Yeah,
And they did a brilliant job.
yeah.
Loved it. I love Totally Killer. Best movie of the year.
I agree. I agree. It's on my top 10. It's fantastic. And you need to seek it out if you haven't seen it. It's an amazing movie.
Yes, it is.
So much fun. My number 1 movie of the year is one I know you haven't seen, and it's called Past Lives. It's a drama, so I know you won't be that interested. But yeah, it's basically about this woman. It starts when she's still a little girl living in Korea. And she's got this really close friend, best friend, that, possibly, budding romance, but, they're still pretty young. And her family ends up moving to the United States, and then eventually they come into contact later in life as adults, and what happens from that point
Oh,
on.
yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's, I just found the movie to be spectacularly moving. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it so much. It's one of those movies that you see and then it hits you so hard. You're just like thinking about it for weeks. So that,
Wow.
so that movie did that to me. So for me, I think that's why it really placed as #1 of the year. Yay!
Yay!
3 cheers for good movies.
Yay! All right. Well, those are our 10 best films of 2023. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and click subscribe.
And watch every movie we've talked about.
Yes. I'm Richard.
Especially Godzilla. You might be delightfully surprised.
I'm Richard.
I'm Steve.
Thank you for watching and see you on the next The History of.
Yay.